Welcome back to Stocklabs, another market recap. It's Memorial Day weekend, so happy holiday to everybody. I hope you're having a good barbecue or beach weekend or lake weekend, whatever you do. And yeah, we're 5 months complete on the trading year, so it's been pretty good so far. Although this past week was slightly maybe iffy, we'll call it. Qs were up 1.4%. Really no big issues there. S&P was flat. The Dow got hit, down 2.3%. And small caps IWM was down 1.25%. So you can see kind of mega cap tech stuff was the only group really doing that well. Gold down 3.5%. Oil down 2%. The commodity trade overall has cooled off a little bit in recent weeks. We've got bonds flat-ish. I mean, flat for the week as far as TLT goes. And yeah, that's about it. So if we look at the leaders on the mega cap side, we had Nvidia, which reported earnings. They beat their earnings, air quotes on beat. Like, everybody expects them to outperform the consensus. And they announced a stock split, which is viewed as somehow bullish. So yeah, that was carrying the weight for the week. Microsoft up 2.4%, not bad. Meta up 1.3%, kind of right in line with the NASDAQ. Tesla up 1%, Apple flat, Google down, Amazon down. So, outside of Nvidia, it's kind of a basic week for these big guys, but overall their trends are still basically up. I mean, with the exception of Tesla this year, which is still down pretty severely, but sometimes these things just, back half of the year, Tesla could just go on a huge run. So we don't know. Because as a cohort, these stocks take a lot of money. So yeah, if we look at breadth by industry, negative across the board. Utilities got hit hard, down 2.8%. Healthcare also down 2.8%. Materials down 1.9%. Tech down 1.6%. Services down 1.5%. You get the idea. Everything was down across the board. So general weakness. We didn't have any sectors that were up over 5%. Even though big movement from Nvidia, rest of semiconductors didn't really do a whole lot. Kind of Nvidia is being treated as its own thing, really. And if we look on the downside, we've got a handful that are down over 5%, but actually it's kind of some familiar faces. You see EVs on here. You see Chinese burritos having a bad week. They looked like they had been having some constructive action for a little while, but then got hit again this past week. Cannabis down 4.75%. So, familiar faces on the downside, but just not much on the upside. So, there wasn't a whole lot to balance things out. Whoops. Yeah, actually, if we look at breadth by market cap, we've got 1 to 5 billion cap stocks down 1.7%. 5 to 10 billion down 1.45%. 10 to 50 billion down 1.5. 50 to 100 billion down 1.2. And TerraCap's 100 billion cap plus stocks down 0.5%, which is not too bad. Although compared to the S&P 500, which was flat, this is relatively weak. So breadth overall between, if you're looking at sectors, if you're looking at market caps, was generally poor, even though the NASDAQ was up, the S&P was flat. So The big guys were doing some heavy lifting this past week for the index. And if we look at intelligence for the coming week, we've got Bitcoin bullish, NRGU. So this is, I guess, bullish big oil, like producers and explorers. We've got mid caps bullish, real estate bullish, inverse airlines is bullish. This is the first time I've ever seen this ETF, but I guess airlines are bearish this week, which is funny because I just saw some statistic like TSA had the highest number of check-ins ever for Memorial Day weekend. So, yeah, interesting. And we've got inverse VIX is bullish. And we've got high beta bullish, S&P bullish, and gold miners bullish. So, I mean, this is all fairly seemingly constructive to me so far. Let's just see on the downside. We've got, inverse gold miners. This is inverse gold miners. This is volatility. Bearish oil and gas is bearish. And this is more volatility. And this is bullish oil and gas. So, I mean, we're going to be in the last week of May. And, the summer trading season has officially set in. So basically what we're going to see for the next 3 months is volatility get crushed even more than it already has been crushed. And kind of the existing trends are going to stay intact, in my opinion. So you're not going to really get a whole lot of like disturbances in the market. This isn't the time to really like swing big on some like crazy bet. In general, I think kind of we're going to make some maybe marginal new highs. Then like you pull back a little bit, like everyone thinks the market's going to rug, but it never rugs in the summer. So you don't really ever have to worry about that. And yeah, so I think for this week, you're going to see more highs, especially in the NASDAQ. And we'll see how it goes as we turn the calendar into June. But yeah, again, have a relaxing weekend. It's going to be a short trading week because Monday's off. And we'll be back the following week to get at it some more. So talk to you all later. Bye.